Don't get satisfied. Let's go! The AT&T Stadium crowd is making a lot of noise.
I hope for the same thing.
It is a spectacle, this place.
Come on, take the ball away, dude. America's team! America's team! That's who we are!
The Cowboys were dominated by the Cardinals in their 38-10 loss Monday night. Welcome into Cowboys Flashback. I'm Dani Sureck. Dallas leads the division with a 2-4 record, which tells you everything you need to know about the NFC East this year. Dallas is starting to create some bad habits, making the same mistakes week after week. A slow start, losing the turnover battle, playing from behind, and the defense not being able to stop the run game. Quarterback Andy Dalton struggled to get the ball out of his hands quick enough and threw 2 interceptions. His receivers dropped passes, and running back Ezekiel Elliott lost 2 fumbles. The defense, not much better. Arizona rushed for almost 300 yards, and the secondary found themselves in a familiar position with an opponent wide open when quarterback Kyler Murray found wide receiver Christian Kirk for an 80-yard touchdown. Zeke took a lot of the blame Monday night after the game because he says his fumbles took away momentum from the offense. He says he knows he needs to be better about protecting the ball.
Honestly, I don't think it really was much of what they did. I think it was me. I'm supposed to be a guy this team can rely on. I'm supposed to be a guy that this team can lean on when times get rough, and I just wasn't that today. I got us started off to a terrible start. The defense they were playing well, but I killed our momentum. 2 fumbles. I can't do that. I can't.
Is there any way to explain, Zeke, why ball security has been such a big issue for you this year?
Honestly, I can't really even, I don't know why. I just got to focus up. I got to be better with it.
Did the coaches say anything to you after the second one in terms of staying off the field for a little bit? Did you feel like you were benched, or did they just want to give you a break, or what was going on there?
I mean, one, I'm giving the ball away. I wasn't helping the team, and I think they did the right thing, and, gave some of those reps to TP, but I can't do that. I have to be a guy this team can lean on, especially in the times right now, with so many of our starters hurt and not playing. So it's not acceptable, and I need to figure it out.
Are there things you've been trying to do in practice to help figure it out, or have you just kind of tried to do some of the same stuff that you work on?
Kind of just, in practice, I've just been focusing in on just kind of keeping it tight and not having it loose. But I don't know, I need to figure something out.
How was the practice now that Ford's not out there? Obviously, Andy Dalton is the guy behind center. Was things a little bit different? Did it feel weird, or was it just business as usual?
I think it was business as usual.
Was it difficult emotionally, Zeke, for you guys for it to be the first time not out there with Dak for the full game, or do you think that's not really a factor much anymore?
I don't think we can use that as an excuse. I'm just going to keep saying it over and over. I started the game out with 2 fumbles, gave the ball away, and that gave them all the momentum that they needed to go and take off. So I want to say I'm sorry, and this one's on me, and I need to be better for this team.
And despite all that,
it's the same thing over and over again. How do you get that out of your head where you just think something bad's going to happen?
I just gotta have a short memory. I gotta get that behind me and get some good and play some good ball and get on a roll.
Zeke, where does the team go from here? Where does the team go from here?
The beauty of the thing is our division isn't doing that well this year, and we still got a shot at it. But we got to figure it out. I got to figure this thing out, and I need to be better this team and lead them and go help them win football games.
The NFC East is the worst division in the league with a collective 5 wins the first 6 weeks. Dallas sits atop with a 2-4 record. Zeke was not the only Dallas Cowboy to turn the ball over. Quarterback Andy Dalton had a pair of interceptions. We talked about his first start as the Cowboys quarterback after filling in for Dak Prescott next.
Dallas Cowboys Flashback, presented by Reliant, is brought to you by AT&T. Rico's products. Make every game a home game with Rico's. And by Reliant, an NRG company. This segment is brought to you by AT&T.
Andy Dalton had his first start for the Cowboys after Dak Prescott left the Giants game with a season-ending right ankle injury. Dalton threw 2 interceptions and struggled to get rid of the ball fast enough, which was important with an injury-riddled offensive line who had yet another player go down. Guard Zach Martin left the game under concussion protocol, and the only starter on the offensive line who started the beginning of the season was guard Connor Williams. That's no excuse for Dalton, who says this team needs to stop turning the ball over and creating opportunities for their opponents.
We're hurting ourselves with the turnovers, and we've got to get this fixed. It's been a trend this year, and especially early in games, and that's affected how we've been able to play. We haven't been able to play run our full offense and run it how it should be run, just because we're getting down in these games because we are turning the ball over. So I think it's one of those things where we got to get this fixed. The ball's the most important thing, and we can't be handing it to the other team.
What was it like to be out there tonight, Andy, and taking over for Dak? Did it take a while to get used to anything?
Yeah, you want to start early and get into a rhythm. We had a couple 3-and-outs, and we had a good drive together, and unfortunately we had a turnover there, and then felt like we moved the ball and did some good things early on. We just, like I said, we kept handing it to them, and then starting the second half, same thing. So, there's some good things that we can take away, but there's a lot of areas that we need to improve. And I think it's one of those things where everybody has to look at themselves. I've got to be better. I've got to do a better job out there and giving our guys chances. And, we'll look at this one and we'll move on from it.
Andy, how would you assess your play, or is it tough to assess how you play just because your guys were in a hole with the turnovers?
No, I mean, there's things that I could do better. And I know that it's one of those things where I'm always going to be my worst critic, and I'm going to go watch this film, see what I can do to help this team. And that's at the end of the day, everybody's got to do that same thing. We've got to look at ourselves and say, what can I do that can make me a better player that's going to help us win these games and give us a chance.
Andy, when y'all turn over the ball, how much do you feel not only are we shooting ourselves, but we're also putting our defense in that position? And if so, what's the key to getting out of that?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't been able to overcome it. We've been putting our defense in bad situations, and teams have been getting points off of these turnovers. And, I mean, when you do that, you're going to make it hard on yourselves to win these games. That's one of those things that you can't do if you want to be a good team, if you want to be a good offense. And, we didn't do that tonight.
Andy, this team's had a lot of injuries that's have to fight through, and physically there's some reasons for the performance, but are you concerned that can transfer over and create some mental issues if you don't improve this pretty quickly?
I mean, for us, injuries are going to happen in this game. That's the unfortunate part of the game, and guys have to step up, regardless of who's out there. I mean, there's still an expectation to play well. There's still an expectation to win and do whatever it takes and to get the job done. So, injuries happen in this game, and you can't make any of that an excuse. You've got to, trust the guy that's out there, and guys have to perform.
Turnovers have been a problem all year for this team, who have turned the ball over in their last 5 games. Head coach Mike McCarthy says it's discouraging because of how diligently they work on ball security throughout the week. Don't go anywhere. After the break, we hear from the head coach after Monday's 38-10 loss.
This segment was brought to you by AT&T.
back to Cowboys Flashback. Head coach Mike McCarthy says the Cowboys' minus 12 turnover ratio is what's holding this team back. Dallas has allowed 84 points off turnovers through the first 6 weeks, which is the most in the NFL. McCarthy says it's disappointing to see these self-inflicting wounds week after week, especially when he feels the team's preparation was at its peak this week prior to the Cardinals game in which the Cowboys turned the ball over 4 times. Let's hear from McCarthy after Monday night's game.
Well, I mean, it's discouraging, period. It's something that we work diligently on. It's not carrying over to the game, and that's something we have to just continue to stay after. Maybe frankly, maybe we're trying too hard, or maybe it's we're overcoaching it. We have to. It's clearly has put us in a position. We've been playing uphill every single game. We haven't gotten into a groove or a rhythm and got out in front yet this year. And it's the self-inflicted wounds that continue to plague us. So we got work to do, and we got to do it fast because, like I said, we got Washington coming on us quickly.
Mike, how would you assess Andy Dalton's first game as starter?
Well, I'm frankly, not to be rude, I have no assessments for you tonight. I think we all understand what the score is. So we didn't play very well on offense, defense, or special teams, and most importantly, I didn't coach very well. I have a continuing issue with ball security on my football team. Something I personally take a lot of pride in how it reflects how you play the game of football, and I'm not getting that done right now.
Mike, how would you describe the offensive line right now? Once again, you lost another key player to that unit.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously losing Zach was key, and I think this would have been our second week of having the same 5 out there. But I thought Connor went in there and battled. I mean, frankly, to ask those 5 guys to get into a drop back game, I was impressed for the way they played because that's not the game we were anticipating playing. We wanted to be into a healthy run game mindset was the plan coming in, but I thought those 5 guys battled.
Did you think Andy was under duress a little bit too much to your liking?
Well, at the end of the day, the evaluation is something I've already stated. I'm like I don't. We shouldn't have been throwing the ball that much, but we had to because of the situation we put ourselves in, getting behind. So I think that stuff all works hand in hand.
Did the defense get worn down by, just obviously the turnover, but the run, they started getting making hay in the running game. What happened with the running game? What did you say?
I mean, we didn't stop the run for the whole game. I thought our guys started strong. The last run there looked like it came out the front side B. I haven't seen the video yet, so I don't have the specifics for you.
Turnovers have put the Cowboys defense in compromising positions. A defense who has struggled to stop the run and who have had multiple games where an opponent is wide open for a touchdown pass from a busted coverage. We shift gears to the defensive struggles from Monday night's loss right after this. The Cowboys defense has not been able to prevent opponents from putting points on the board. Dallas has allowed for 218 points through the first 6 weeks of the season, which is tied for the 4th most in NFL history. It's the most points allowed through the first 6 weeks in the Super Bowl era. And by the way, they're only 17 points shy from the leader of that category, the Baltimore Colts, in 1950. Linebacker Leighton Vander Esch played his first game in a month after coming off IR from a broken collarbone. He says he feels good physically after his first game back.
My body feels wonderful, to be completely honest with everybody. I feel great. I feel fast. My legs feel good. My upper body feels good. My collarbone's healed great. I'm getting my strength back in that. And so it's a constant everyday process. I think doing things good, but I think I need to tackle better. Obviously, I haven't really played a full game, and I don't even know how long, but I need to tackle better. But that's one area I need to improve on.
Your body feels good after a loss like this. Kind of the obvious follow-up is how does the rest of you feel, and what do you see in terms of why the Cardinals were able to have so much success offensively?
Yeah, I think we really need to get off the field on third down. We had them in third and long for so many times, and just getting off the field on third down, I think that's just going to take a huge step on our defense. Just tighten up our coverage. Don't let anybody behind us. There's not really any excuses for that, and just fitting our gaps in the run.
Leighton, y'all can't control whether the offense turns over the ball, but what's the key to your mentality, making sure that you can make the most of the opportunity?
I love the question. We got to take pride in the defense about going out there and having the offense's backs, regardless of what the situation is, whether they whether they get good field position, they punt the ball down to the 2-yard line, or whether they turn the ball over on the 2-yard line on their end. We got to have the mindset that we're going to go out there. We got to take pride in that as a defense, that we're going to go out there and we're going to stop no matter what. So I think we take a step in that aspect, but just getting the guys going, and everybody's got to have that pride, that sense of urgency, that conviction that no matter where the ball's out on the field, we're going to get the job done.
Like, you've had some injuries that explained some performance issues overall as a team at this point. Is there any concern about mentally about how the group is handling this and getting discouraged or losing confidence in any way?
I feel like we're good mentally, but that's not really for me to say. I don't know how all the other guys feel really. I think the image is good. I think we've had good energy every single week. We just got to clean stuff up and play one snap at a time, 1 week at a time. It don't matter. We got to be 1-0 in the week that we're playing. Nothing else matters. We got to go out there, take the first down, take the second down, third down, third down. We're 3 and out. Yeah, they're going to get some plays, but we got to be able to bow up as a defense. We got to take pride in that and stopping them and going after them play after play after play, because it's going to be a grind. It's not just going to be we're going to go out there and get 3 and out every time. Yeah, everybody would love that, but it's pro football. They're going to get theirs and we're going to get ours, but who's just going to get more of them?
Van Der Esch says the identity of this defense is still unknown. He says they know who they want to be and how they want to play, but the defense has to be firing off on all cylinders in order for them to accomplish their goals. Van Der Esch says the defense just needs to continue progressing, even in the areas where they feel they're doing a good job. He says there's always room for improvement and more consistency. Van Der Esch says the defense is just pushing through some growing pains. Linebacker Jalen Smith says the defense is making the game harder on themselves than it needs to be. Don't go anywhere. We hear from Smith post-game next.
Dallas Cowboys Flashback, presented by Reliant, was brought to you by AT&T. Academy, the official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys. Reliant, an NRG company. And by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full access to coaches' film and game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl. Subscribe at DallasCowboys.com/Game Pass.
Turnovers are one of the main areas of concern for this Cowboys team. Linebacker Jalen Smith says it doesn't matter what kind of situation this defense is put in, they need to do their job and stop their opponent. Smith says even if the Cowboys defense is playing on a shortened field off a turnover, they need to force 3 and outs.
Anytime you're facing a quarterback that can run, presents a challenge. At the end of the day, we got to get guys on the ground, and we didn't do that enough tonight.
Was there any difference after the first 3 or 4 series for the defense? I feel like everything kind of changed after that. Can you pinpoint anything why everything turned after that?
Started off fast. It was in our zone, flying around, electric. We have to respond to adversity, and we didn't do that tonight. Defense, we didn't do that.
How come you think that's occurring?
I think it's a number of things. we'll better know and understand once we watch the film and really get a grasp on how can we cut out these little errors that we're making. And it's turning into big plays, explosive plays. The Cardinals had more explosive plays than we did tonight, and that's the result of the game that you get.
The Cowboys have their fair share of work to do in a shortened week. They travel to Washington to face the Washington football team this Sunday in a divisional matchup. You can stay up to date on all team news and injury updates on DallasCowboys.com throughout the week. Thanks so much for watching Cowboys Flashback. I'm Dani Sureck, and I'll see you next time.